let's get started with this hybrid or H parameter model of an amplifier. In the last class we discussed frequency response of various popular amplifiers. In today's class we are going to discuss an H parameter. H is also called as a hybrid parameter and this is a model for an amplifier which is built upon bipolar junction transistor. And you are seeing in the board the block diagram of a two-port and four-terminal device. This is basically the block diagram. Initially, we are not aware of what is circuit present in this block diagram. We will start with an abstract things which are not known, and later on you can see that by estimating the input and as well as output voltages, and by estimating the current of output current and the input currents, one can easily find out what is the device present inside this block box. So that's how the mechanism starts with. And this is going to be a model for a bipolar junction transistor. In this current syllabus, we are going to use this model. This can be modeled even for any four-terminal device. It need not be for bipolar junction transistor. So that's why this block diagram is given as it's a block diagram of a two-port. This has got two ports inside. Okay, you can see that one of them is input port, where the signals. VA is the input voltage, and for that corresponding current, the resulting current is IA. Okay, so you apply signals across these 2 points, ports. A port is nothing but it's a point where you apply signals, and even you can measure signals. This is called as the input port because you are going to apply signals at these 2 particular points, and these 2 points are nothing but called as output port, where you measure the signals coming out from this. There is some circuit inside this. We will not worry about what is circuit inside this. We are going to model the bipolar junction transistor using this concept called as two-port system. Two-port system in the sense one is input port, other one is output port. So you can also see that the input impedance of this two-port system is given by ZI. If you measure the resistance across these 2 points, the impedance is labeled as ZI, and voltage applied to this 2 points is labeled as VI, it's input voltage. And sometimes we also indicate this input port as with label 1 and 1, and output port we label it as 2 and 2. That means that output port, second port we take the output, and the first port we apply the input. Okay, so this device, their model can be used even for any device with either 2-terminal, 3-terminal, 4-terminal, any the terminal up to 4-terminal devices having the device with 4 terminals can be modeled using this two-port system. So if you look at this, the equations relating the input and as well as output are defined by equation number 1 and 2. You can look at equation number 1 and 2. So in this two-port system, you are seeing totally the 4 variables. VA, IA is 2 variables. These are the 2 variables. Other 2 variables are V0 and as well as I0. These are the other 2 variables. And of course, Z0 and Zi, even though they are the variables, for the time being we are going to ignore it. Later on, we are going to consider even these 2 variables. But in our equations defined by equation 1 and 2, we are not going to consider variables like Zi and as well as Z0. Primarily, we consider the VA and IA as variables, and even V0 and I0 are the other 2 variables. Totally, there are 4 variables in this block box. The variables like V and II, V0 and I0, how they are related to each other, that is defined by equation number 1. So if you look at equation number 1 and 2, all variables are not made as independent. You can see that among these 2 equations, the independent variables are II and as well as V0. These are going to be the independent variables, and of course you can see that if you look at equations, they are present on the right hand side. So this II is one variable and V0 is another variable. In both equations, II and V0 is present. So those are going to be the independent variables. And of course this Vi and I0 becomes a dependent variable. So let us write it here. So Vi and as well as the I0, that becomes a dependent variables. Okay. The equation number 1 and 2 relates independent variable as well as dependent variable. You can see that how this Vi is related to the Ia and V0, that is defined as per this equations. So Vi is equal to H11. Okay, H11 is nothing but it's a hybrid parameter. And you can see that index there is a 1 and 1 here, subscript which is 1 and 1. You already seen that 1 and 1 corresponds to the input port. Okay, so this parameter H is called hybrid parameter. The reason why it is called hybrid is because all these parameters H11, H12, H21, H22, these are the hybrid parameters which have different dimensions. They don't have similar kind of dimensions. Each one of them is going to have different dimensions. That's why it is called as a hybrid. Okay. Do not write uppercase for to indicate hybrid parameters. Always you have to practice with smaller case to indicate hybrid parameters. So all of you understood the notations of small h and even the subscripts here. 1 and 1 corresponds to the, that means this particular quantity belongs to the input port. Okay. And similarly you can look at there is another term here, this H12. That means this quantity belongs to both input as well as output. Okay, the 1 and 2 corresponds to the both input port as well as output port. Later on we are going to assign some, instead of labeling with numbers like 1, 1, 1, 2, or 2, 1 and 2, 2, we are going to assign some subscripts according to the transistor. Okay, because here it seems to be like, looks like they are not related to the transistor, H11, H12. But later on we are going to introduce new subscripts which in close match with the help of type of transistor configurations. Anyway, so for the time being, from this number also you can easily understand that this quantity belongs to this particular port. And you want to look at this H21 in the second equation, I0 is equal to H21 times II, H22 times V0. Okay, so that means H21 is a parameter which belongs to the output as well as input. And similarly, lastly we have H22 parameter, hybrid parameter. This parameter belongs to the output port only, okay, a dedicated output port only. So among these two parameters, which you can see that H11 is a parameter that belongs to only input port, H22 is a parameter that belongs to only output port, and there are interrelated parameters are H12 and as well as H22. So if you understand these basic equations, this entire chapter becomes very easier. Because based on this, we have another chapter, as I told you, that large signal amplifiers that can be understood easily. If you understand these few things, it is, initially it seems to be like abstract, but later on when you get practice, these things becomes as usual. You can get familiar with these equations. So you can see that how we started with explaining the hybrid parameter. We started with a black box, nothing known inside this. Okay, but inside this there is a, you can use either bipolar junction transistor or even FET also. Okay, but here we will start with modeling the bipolar junction transistor. Later on we can use the same concept to model even field effect transistor also. So inside this you can see that there may be the transistor. Using the transistor we are going to model this the bipolar junction transistor. Inside this that can be modeled with the help of these equations. Also look at this. This circuit, most of you are worried that how I have written this circuit here. This circuit is nothing but, if you understand these equations, writing these circuits are not difficult. Easily you can write this circuit. Because look at this, equation number 1 is as per the Kirchhoff law. If you try to design the circuit, you will get this circuit. Okay, it's actually reverse version. So far what we have done is, looking at circuit, we keep on applying the KVL. But now see that we have reverse process. Already we have an equation here. Can you construct circuit for this? Circuit is here. You can look at here the circuit, you will get up with come out with same equations, minus Vi, which is same as here, and you can see that II times H11, which is here, and look at this is a voltage source, H12 times V0, which is here. That means if you apply KVL to the input section, that gives you the equation number 1. You understand this? How to obtain equation number 1? And of course, the equation number 2 is you can obtain it by applying KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. Blindly, these people come and disrupt the classes. All 8 semesters, 7 semester students think that their degree is over, but unfortunately not. You understand this? How you obtain this? Okay, so that's why we give a new name to this circuit. Input section is a Thevenin's equivalent and output section is Norton's equivalent. In other way, I can say that the input section is can be obtained by using Kirchhoff voltage law. Okay, which is if you apply KVL to this, you will get back equation number 1. If you apply KCL to this, you we get back equation number 2. Is it same? You can see that the current which is I0, look at that where the current I0 is coming, this current is entering. Okay, look at the other currents which are leaving. If you consider this point as a node, you can see that this current is leaving, or this current also is leaving. H22 is not a current, it's an admittance. It's not a current. Okay, it's an admittance. But if you want to get a current here, you want to multiply that with voltage source. Admittance multiplied with voltage source, that gives you the current, right? Okay, H22 is the admittance, multiply that with voltage source. H22 into V0, that gives you the current. So you can see here H22 into V0, this gives you the current. Okay. So you can see that here, this is the incoming current, and these two are going to be the outgoing currents. You can see this is going to be outgoing current, even this also is going to be the outgoing current. So if you are at this particular point, if you apply the Kirchhoff current law, you will get back equation number 2. Now we understood this. So we started with the block diagram, with indicating the various variables and as well as ports. And later on what we have done is we have written the equations relating the input port as well as output port. That's nothing but equation number 1 and 2. And based on equation number 1 and 2, we constructed a circuit here, and the circuit is called as a two port network H parameter model. You see that here we started with the block diagram here, and here I have showed that what is present inside the block diagram. Okay, the inside block diagram here you can see that there is a resistor H11 and there is a voltage source. This is a voltage source because it's H12 multiplied with V0. It's a voltage source, and you get there is a current source at the output section, and there is even there is two current sources are there, but this is going to be the admittance. If you multiply admittance with voltage, that gives you current source. This is dedicated admittance. So that means you can model any 3-terminal device or 4-terminal device having these 4 parameters. You got the point here? Why we use these 4 parameters here? If you have these parameters like H11, H12, H21, H22, you can model bipolar junction transistor. That means you are going to construct exact bipolar junction transistor using these 4 elements. That is possible. I am not going to use actual transistor here, but the behavior of these 4 elements is same as actual transistor. That is why it is called the modeling. You are going to prepare the replica of the transistor using these 4 elements: H11, H12, H21, H22. You can see that most of the packages, like if you are using the ALCAT capture, there you can see that we don't have exact transistor. But if you pick up the transistor from the library and if you construct some circuit, okay, circuit will work like a transistor, right? Application will work like a transistor. How it is possible? Because there you are going to construct a transistor, not with actual transistor, but with elements like this. Understand it? So these 4 elements will behave according to the transistor, bipolar junction transistor. Hybrid parameters cannot be used for field effect transistor. We have different model for field effect transistor. But anyway, this model can be used here only for analysis of bipolar junction transistors. So go through this. If you have any question, you can ask it, because later on I am going to leave so far, you can see that if you observe the block diagram, the equations and the network, it does not give any information about the bipolar junction transistor. But what I am trying to say is, having these 4 elements, H11, H12, H21, H22, we can model any 3-terminal device or even 4-terminal device also. But here, specifically, we are using this particular network to model the bipolar junction transistor. We will see in the upcoming classes how to model bipolar junction transistor using this network called as H parameter network. Okay. So always you should make sure that you must remember this equation number 1 and 2, because you are going to translate these equations according to the transistor configurations. We have different transistor configurations, or the common base, common emitter, common collector configurations, and these 2 equations gets changed according to the type of transistor configurations. Accordingly, this 2-port network also changes depending upon the type of transistor configurations. So in the upcoming classes and today's class, we will discuss how to construct a model, a bipolar junction transistor using this a 2-port system or using this 2-port network. Okay. So there is a close relationship between the 2-port system, the equations, and this 2-port network. All are interrelated to each other. So this is in the abstract manner, they relate to each other, the input and as well as output. But here the equations gives you mathematical relations, tells you that how this output port is related to the input port, and here circuit will tell you that how this output is related to the input. Okay, so all are going to be interrelated to each other. So with that, we will move on to the definition of H parameters. So using this equation number 1 and 2, we can define the hybrid parameters to define one by one. You can see here in this equation number 1, we can give definition for this H11. Most of us we can see that we are not aware of so far what is this H11, but we can define what is H11 by making V naught as 0. If you want to define H11, just make V naught as 0. If you want to define H12, just make IA as 0. And so that we can define what is H11. We can understand what is H11. So let's find out first H11. If you want to find out H11, in equation number 1, substitute as V naught as 0. Let's go and substitute V naught as 0 and try to find out what is this H11. So you can give a title as definitions of H parameter, defining H parameter. Determination of H parameters. How to determine H parameters? First, let us determine the parameter H11. Okay, how to determine the parameter H11? In the equation number 1, substitute V naught as 0. Substitute V naught is equal to 0 in equation number 1. So what will be the definition if you substitute V naught as 0 in equation number 1? So H11 will be equal to Vi divided by Ia. This is under the condition V naught is equal to 0. So V naught is equal to 0. What it implies? Output voltage is 0. How do you make 0? Voltage is 0. You must short circuit it. Okay. So if you short circuit this output, so that we can easily determine the value of H1. Okay. So V naught is equal to 0. This implies that output is short circuit. Okay. You understand this? How to determine H11? H11 should be determined by short circuiting the output. Okay, you calculate the ratio of input voltage by input current, that gives me the value of H1. Now based on this, can we take the unit for this? It's a voltage by current. What will be the unit for this? It's a ohms with resistance. Okay. So this unit for this is going to be a resistance or ohms. Also we can use some partial calculus and we can define this mathematically also. H11 is equal to dou Vi divided by dou Ia. Okay, instead of making V naught as 0, we can assume as V naught as a constant in the partial calculus. This is a partial calculus definition of H1. This also may be written as introducing delta terms. Delta is nothing but it's a small change. Delta Ia for a constant V naught. Using partial calculus, we can give definition for H11 using this. It's rate of change of input voltage to the change of input current for a constant voltage. So rate of change of also can be written as a change in input voltage to the change in input current for a constant output voltage. So this is the alternative definitions. From the equation number 1, we obtain definitions as this, and from various other mathematical aspects, we can change the definitions. Definitions for H11 is dou Vi by dou Ia or delta Vi by delta Ia, where delta indicates it's a small change. Okay. That's going to be the definition for the H1. Now we know instead of using H11 in upcoming classes, what we will do is we will translate H11 to Hi. The reason why we translated H11 to Hi is because it's related 11 indicates it belongs to the input port. So instead of saying 11 as a subscript, what we can do is simply we can indicate as Hi. Okay. And later on we are going to add some subscript to that, and suppose if I want to indicate this parameter for common emitter configuration, I can indicate this as HIE. Okay. Suppose if I want to indicate this parameter for common base configuration, I can change this as HIP. it becomes input resistance of common emitter configuration, input resistance of common base configuration. Similarly, for common conductor, we can write HA. Rotations will keep changing depending on the type of configurations. Anyway, for the time being, without going to the more details, let's indicate H11 as HF. So we can write down the definition for H11. H11 is nothing but ratio of instantaneous change in. The term H11 is defined as the ratio of instantaneous change in the input voltage. Instantaneous change in the input voltage to the instantaneous change in the input current to the instantaneous change in input current for constant value of output voltage. For constant value of output voltage. Now similar lines can be defined H12. Go ahead for defining the parameter H12. I just change here H12. How to define H12 parameter? We have to make IA as 0 in equation number 1. IA is made 0 in equation number 1. And once you make that, you can see that H12 will be, okay, H12 is nothing but VI by V0. So that formula will be VI by V0. This is for making IA as 0. IA as 0. It's not now short circuit. IA is 0 means what it implies? IA is equal to 0. How do you make current 0? If short circuit, current will not become 0. You have to open circuit to make current as 0. So that means IA is equal to 0 implies that input is open circuit. Input is open circuit. And do you think we have limit for this? No unit, because it's a ratio of voltages. So obviously volts will cancel. There is no unit for this. So there is no unit. It's a dimensionless quantity. Dimensionless quantity. We can also write definition as per the partial calculus. It's a delta VI by dou V0. This is for making IA as a constant. And here also you can change this dou delta VI by delta V0 making IA as a constant. This is the partial calculus definition of H1. Also we can write H12 as HR. On what basis you know this? We have written HR. It's a reverse voltage gate, because you can see that it's a ratio of input voltage by output voltage. If it is a output by input, you would have written a forward voltage gate. Since it is a ratio of input voltage by output voltage, this can be called as reverse voltage gain. Reverse voltage gain H12 can also be indicated as HR. H subscript is R. Okay, as I mentioned that even for common emitter configuration, this can be written as HRE. For common base, HRB. For common collector, this can be written as HRC. Notations will change as per the configuration. Now go ahead with defining H21 as well as H22. Before you go the next definition, write the definitions for H12. H12 is defined as the ratio of instantaneous change in the input voltage. The ratio of instantaneous change in the input voltage to the instantaneous change in output voltage to the instantaneous change in output voltage for a constant value of input current. For a constant value of input current. So next for defining H21. For H21, how do you define? Again, you have to make V naught as 0. In equation number 2, it's not equation number 1 now, it is equation number 2. So H21, when you make V naught as 0 in equation number 2, what will be H21? It's I naught divided by IA. I naught divided by IA by a constant V naught is equal to 0. V naught is equal to 0 indicates that output is short circuit. What the dimension for this? Again, it's a dimension line. Because it's a ratio of output current by input current, there is no unit for this. You can also write definitions as per the partial calculus. H21 is written as dou I naught divided by dou IA for a constant V naught. Also, this can be written as delta I naught divided by delta IA for a constant V naught. Now you can see that it's a ratio of output current by input current. H21 can also be written as HF. Now we can define the parameter H21. The parameter H21 is defined as the ratio of change in instantaneous value of output current, ratio of change in instantaneous value of output current to the change in instantaneous value of input current to the change in instantaneous value of input current for a constant value of output voltage. For a constant value of output voltage. Already we mentioned that it's a dimensionless quantity, and H21 also can be represented as HF. That's about H21. Lastly, we have the parameter is H22 parameter. You have to obtain this parameter by substituting IA as 0 in equation number 2. It gives me H22. Substitute IA as 0, you will get it as I naught by V naught. Okay, IA is equal to 0 implies that input is open circuited. Right, similarly H22 using partial calculus, it's a dou I naught by it's a dou V naught for a constant IA. Also delta I naught and divided by delta V naught. This is the definition based on the focus again, keeping IA as constant. Lastly, H22 can be written as HO because it's an output admittance. Unit for this is Siemens, or you can also write MHO. It's a reverse of resistance, that's why this can be written as MHO. Or this can be written as Siemens also. It has got unit now. Among the four quantities, we can see that H11, H22 has got unit, but H12, H21 are dimensionless quantities. So that's why these are called as hybrid parameters. Okay, the mixture of all dimension and dimensionless quantities. Okay, so that's going to be the definition for H22. have any questions, you can ask us before we develop transistor hybrid model. Okay. So this is so far we analyzed just a general hybrid model. Now onwards we will apply this. You can always be indicated as this substitute with either notations E or B or C to restrict to the particular transistor. But now we will change all these notations to the particularly for the bipolar transistor. And later on we will see that how these equations can be changed. Any questions about equation 1 and 2 on these definitions? Okay. So we will just develop transistor hybrid model. You can take it as a transistor hybrid model. Under this section, we are going to discuss transistor H-parameter model for common emitter configurations. Under this, you can take up a title as H-parameter model for common emitter configuration. Okay. We need to develop H-parameter model for all three configurations. First, we'll start with H-parameter model for common emitter configuration. First, write the transistor in common emitter configuration. Write the transistor in common emitter configuration. Transistor has been shown in common emitter configuration. And don't use here substitute with uppercase, use all substitute with smaller case. Only in case of DC equivalent and DC analysis, you can use this as uppercase, but now you can see here I've used here this smaller case. Even the base emitter voltage also indicate with smaller case VBE. Do not use uppercase here. And currents also indicate in smaller case. This is IB. Current flowing with the emitter, we have IE. Current flowing in the collector, which we have is IC. So it's nothing but common emitter transistor configuration. I am going to show you the procedure, how to use this procedure even for other configurations also. I am just working out the detail for common emitter configurations. You can follow the similar procedure for common base as well as common configuration. Can make hybrid H-parameter model for this common emitter configurations. Just now we showed general model here, general network here. Now can you convert the same network to common emitter configurations? To replace this transistor with 4 parameters, H11, H12, H21, H22, so that this can be modeled using hybrid parameter. Let's replace this transistor with 4 parameters that you can see here. Here, we have a base terminal here, we have an emitter terminal, we have a collector terminal, same as this. Okay, base, emitter, collector, base, emitter, collector, and you can see that between base and emitter, between the base and emitter, this resistance, which is replaced here with input resistance. So this let me call as HI E. Now you can see that I have changed my notations. Instead of labeling as H11, what I have done is HI. That means this parameter belongs to input, and also look at that I have used here subscript additional subscript as E. That means it is a common emitter configuration. I am just showing you the procedure for common emitter indicate, so that you can also make a similar for other two configurations. And look at it, this is going to be the voltage source. Look at general and look at and can you change here. Look at general hybrid parameter. What should be the value of this voltage source? Look at the general parameter. HRE times. Now you should write according to this now. Where is V0 here? It's VC. Okay. So it's nothing but HRE times VC. How many can understand this? Okay, look at general model and write as per that. In the general model, you can see that this was our it's in terms of subscripts, you know, the H12. Okay, H12 times it's a V0. But now look at here, instead of H12, what I have here is HRE times VC, because there V0 is replaced by VC. You can look at V0 in this circuit is output voltage is VC, not V0. Okay. What about this current source? Look at general model and write HRE, not IA. What is the input current in this case? IB. The base current is the input current for this particular configuration. So HRE times IB. What about this admittance lastly? HOE. HOE. All have understood this how to write this equation? Now based on this can we convert equation number 1 and 2 to this particular configuration? Try this writing equation number 1 and 2 as per this configuration. Write equation number 1 and 2 for the common emitter configurations. You must write, use pencil. Look at the general network. What is it shown? These are the definition. What is the value of H21? Is equal to HR. HF. Not redundant. Is equal to HF. 21 means it belongs to output by input current. It belongs to HF. Since it's common emitter, they indicate as HF. The right notation, what we have changed? What we have changed is H11, we change it to HI, HIE, H21 has been changed to HFE, H12 has been changed to HRE, and lastly we have H22. H2 has been changed to HOE for common emitter configuration. What about input voltage? II in the original network has been changed to IB, and output voltage V0 has been changed to let me indicate current first. I0 current, IC. Then you can change even input voltage VI, VB, and what about output voltage V0, VC. Okay. Take out all descriptions so that it becomes easy for you to do. Now based on this can we write equation number 1 and 2 for C configuration. Good. So you are supposed to get equation number 1 and 2 as like this now. VBE it should be equal to HIE times IB plus HRE times VC. Similarly, we can write second equation IC, which is equal to HFE times IB plus HOA times VC. VC. You can call this as equation number 3 and 4. So it becomes easy for you to link. 1 and 2 are general, 3 and 4 are for common emitter configuration. Similarly, you can write 5 and 6 for common collector and 7 and 8 for common base. Now can we define parameters for this now? We have defined earlier H11, remember that? Now can we define HIE? Go ahead, use partial calculus definitions. What is HIE? I write general definitions. So this can be written as dou VBE divided by dou IB by making VCE as constant. This is the definition for HIE. Instantaneous change in base emitter voltage to the instantaneous change in base current for a constant VCE. If you want to give actual definition for HIE, you have to make VCE as 0, and you can see that HIE becomes VB by IB. That's actual definition. We are not written here actual definition, we have written partial calculus. Similarly, we can also define HRE. HRE can be defined by making IB as 0. So what will be the answer? It is dou VBE divided by dou VCE for a constant IB. Similarly, we can also define HFE. HFE, to define HFE, make VC as 0, so which becomes dou IC divided by dou IB for a constant VCE. And lastly, we have HOE, which is dou IC divided by dou VCE for a constant IB. Well, have you understood this? Okay. So this, this is called as a complete hybrid parameter model for common emitter configuration. You can also